Hey cruisers, we are on board Carnival Miracle in aft balcony facing cabin number 5299, and it has become quite a tradition here at Cruise Tips TV to give you a little tour of our stateroom, but also to show you how we organize our stateroom. Today's episode is brought to you by cruiseline.com, where you can compare prices from several cruise sites with easy to use cruise search. Let's take a look around. Now, we have a couple of side tables that are next to the bed that we actually haven't used on this cruise, so we're not really going to show you what's inside of those because there's nothing there. In the past, we have used them on longer cruises to store things like soda and whatever we may have a little surplus of. But let's take a look around at the rest of our cabin and we'll show you what is in every cupboard, every drawer, every closet, just everything. And if you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments below. We love interacting with you and would love to hear your cabin organization tips as well. Here we go. All right, we have, one of my favorite things on Carnival Miracle is they have these really long cupboards with shelves in them. And so what we're using this for is sunglasses, miscellaneous camera equipment, as you can see here, our sturdy little towel clips that we got before our cruise, tripods, microphones, things like that for filming, and our water. Right over here, we're going to take a look in the safe area now. We, obviously, the safe is going to fill up really fast with our wallets and things like that. So we store our, I guess you could call this a power strip. This is a non-surge power strip. Passports, things like that in here. It's a nice little cupboard, but not a whole lot of space. Okay, next up we're going to take a look at our refrigerator. As you can see though, this is sort of our beverage station on the way down. I was sick before this cruise, so I brought some emergency to try to stay healthy. We have our good old ice bucket and some nice wine and drink glasses that our stateroom store provided. And here is our refrigerator. This is a little bit of an awkward setup because the door opens one way and then the fridge opens the other way, so you kind of have to eyeball it. But we just have water and soda and things like that in there right now. Moving on over here, I want to show you our little desktop charging area. This is where we keep all of our equipment, and normally what we'll do is have this charging hub plugged in here. As you can see, my phone is charging. We have this great USB charger. This is a portable charging device for my phone, and this is how we store all of our cables. And of course, if you're interested in any of these products, we do try to keep a nice list of them on our website, cruisetipstv.com // marketplace for you. This is a little portable Bluetooth speaker that I love. This is the U-Moon, which you saw us review on our Cruise Gear channel. It's awesome. It packs a wallet for such a tiny little device, and we get a ton of use out of it. Now we're going to take a look at the bank of drawers. Of course, we have basic stuff over here like a notepad and our room service menu, but you can kind of see that on your own. This is where we store all of our papers for the cruise. So I don't make a huge effort to keep this area organized. We just kind of throw everything in. Some of the examples of things that we put in this drawer would be receipts. We will put our fun times in here so that when we get back from our cruise, we can scan them and share them with you online. My son keeps his candy from Cherry on Top in there, and any other paperwork that we need all in one place, okay? Next up to this other bank of drawers here, we have a method to our madness, I promise. Here is the blow dryer that the ship provides, and over here we simply keep hand sanitizing wipes and $1 bills for tipping, and apparently my son's Altoids, he threw them in there and I didn't know they were there, but that's okay. This next drawer here has a lot of different things in it. This is all of my lipstick. I know that's a lot of lipstick, but I like to keep it all in one place. This here is kind of just a miscellaneous bag full of things like earbuds, more motion sickness bands if we need them, and Clorox wipes, stuff like that. And then of course we have another miscellaneous bag of stuff that you can see in our packing video. This is our medication bag, which thankfully, you guys, so far in this cruise, this has stayed unused and in the drawer, and that's just the way we like it. We have not had any issues there. And this is my laundry bag, which you saw in our packing video. It has quarters in case the ship that we're on doesn't have a swipe card system, but so far on our last few cruises, everybody's going to the swipe card system, so we haven't needed it. So mostly this is just detergent and shout wipes for those little accidents. And believe me, we have them when we're sailing with an 8-year-old. All right, next drawer down. Let's take a look in here. This is kind of my hair drawer. This little bag has all of my hair accessories in it. So hair bands, bobby pins, hair gel, things like that. This is where I keep my curling iron. And this is a Wander wet bag that you've seen in a lot of our other videos. And this has our goggles. And this is kind of a grab and go pool bag that we keep in this little drawer. Mostly goggles, hand sanitizing wipes, and some miniature sunscreen. So that if my son wants to go to the pool, we don't have to think about it. I can just grab this, throw it in my backpack, and we're ready to rock and roll. And I have an extra hamper in here, which I actually haven't needed on this cruise. We've only been using one hamper so far. My brush, a set of binoculars, and our poor little alarm clock who didn't make it on this cruise. More on that later. And our last drawer down here is my undergarments. Now, everybody always sees our packing videos and says, where are your undergarments? I don't really like to show my undergarments, but since you guys ask all the time, I feel like I need to do it. So I have my stick-on bra, folks. This is for strapless dresses and bras and undies and things like that in here. And I like to keep these separate from the closet so that they're easier to grab and everything kind of falls out of that bag. So there are 3 banks of closets on this ship. Let's take a look at all of them. This is the first one here. Can you see okay? Looking good? Okay. Up here is my husband's stuff. As you can see, you guys, we're always talking about packing cubes. We kept most of our clothes in packing cubes this time. So my husband has his shirts, pants, underwear, his belt, everything. And I even have his coffee thermos up here. Moving down to the next shelf, this is actually my stuff. So I have my swimsuits in this packing cube here, and a shawl and another Wander Wet bag and some clothing and pajamas and things like that here, and my backpack, so I can just grab my backpack out of this cupboard. I wanted to tell you guys something that I've learned on this cruise that I've never done before, and that is that I have been using carabiners for everything. Can you see this okay? I have been hooking my sunglass cases onto that, my son's water bottle, all kinds of stuff. So that is going to be my new cruise tip for myself and for you all, is to pack a few cheap little carabiners, keep them with you. They are a lifesaver. We even pinned my husband's hat onto our backpack at the last minute when we ran out of room in the backpack. They are so great. So that's going to be going on to my official packing list. All right, next shelf down is my son's stuff. As you can see here, he's sort of half in packing cubes and half out. I've got his socks, underwears, and swimsuit in there, his little backpack, all of that stuff stayed in the packing cubes, but then some miscellaneous things like his jammies and hoodies came out. Bottom shelf is shoes for me and my son. As you can see, I have a lot more shoes than my son. All right, moving on to the next cupboard here. This is the hanging closet for myself and my son. So as you can see, again, my son takes up like 10% of the closet, and then the rest of this is all of my hanging clothes, mostly dresses. Now, one thing, now we just lost a dress, so I'll put that down there, but one thing I have to say is on this cruise, on the Carnival Miracle, unfortunately, there were not a lot of hangers in the closets. I think there were maybe a total of 5 or 6, and I was trying to pack a little bit lighter this time and didn't bring hangers, so we were actually short on them, and I asked the cabin steward for extra ones, and we got some wire hangers from him, which was better than nothing, but I don't really like wire hangers, so I'm like, oh gosh, next time I'm gonna bring my own hangers on Carnival. So just a little FYI. Down here on the bottom, you will see that we have one of 2 hampers that we brought with us. This little guy's getting a little worn and torn, but that's okay. That is a lifesaver for keeping your cabin organized. You gotta keep the dirty clothes away from the clean clothes, right? Last bank of closet space is my husband's beautifully organized area. He has his evening shirts, dress shirts, and down here on the bottom, his shoes and his backpack. So camera equipment is in that backpack. You can see slippers, Converse, and a pair of dress shoes there. Now we're going to take a quick look at this grab and go area right by the door, okay, before we go into the bathroom. So if you've watched these videos before, you know that I love putting super strong magnets on the wall to keep things that you need to grab in a hurry. In this case, I have a small clutch that I take to dinner. This has things like lipstick, hand sanitizing wipes, and my cruise card in it. And this is something to use if I'm just running out really quickly and I only want my cruise card in it. Also a hat. Have to say though, guys, I don't like these new magnets. We tried something new. They're not strong enough. So I will be going back to the Learning Resources brand, super strong magnets with hooks that you guys are always hearing me talk about. They are fantastic. There's another little area right up here that you can hang stuff on. So as you can see, my husband's hat is there. These are bolted into the wall. These are not ours. We have our continental breakfast menu and this little card that you put on the front of your door to say if you're sleeping or if you're out and about and you want your room cleaned. So that's that. And now we're gonna take a look inside the bathroom. Come on in. Okay, we're gonna start with my toiletry bag hanging on the back of the door. Everything that is in this bag has already been featured in our pre-cruise packing video. So if you want a little more detail about what's in here, please be sure to check out that video. But in short, toiletries, nail clippers, tweezers, earplugs, chapstick, and all kinds of other sample items, razors, all that stuff. Now, come on in and let me show you the rest. One of the things that I love about Carnival, you guys, is they have these fantastic glass shelves on the mirror so you can see all of your stuff. It's the best. Up here, sun care area, just like I always do. It's always organized the same way. Down here, miscellaneous stuff. I have my perfume. I have some day foundation and some nice day and night lotion. And I have some self-tanner. And down here, I have all of my samples that I've been collecting from beauty boxes for the last little bit that I've been using on my hair. And we have baby powder, and we have a face wash, and this face wash should actually be over there, so I'm gonna go ahead and move that over real quick. Sorry guys, gotta have it a certain way. And we have the other bank of shelves up here. So on the top, as you can see, that is all of my makeup. I normally put my makeup on out at the vanity, but this time I've been doing it in the restroom. This is obviously toothbrushes, toothpaste and floss, and deodorant, and hubby's shave cream, and my son's hair gel. Down here, as you can see, we bring our own pump soap. I really like to keep our hands clean on board, and while the cruise line does provide this little guy right here, it is very nice to have your own pump soap. So I don't use the shelves down below. There is a teeny tiny bank of shelves down here. They're not even really worth looking at because the cruise line actually stores toilet paper and things like that there. But before we sign off today, we do have to have a little memorial service for someone who has been on many, many cruises with us. Come with me and I will show you. This little guy, unfortunately, you guys, has passed away. I would just like to have a moment of silence for our sweet little alarm clock, who has been with us on more than 20 cruises, as evidenced by his duct tape patch job. He is no longer dutifully telling the time. It's 11:47 and it says it's 5:06, so rest in peace, little fella. I'm so glad that you passed away at sea where you're the happiest, and you have been so good to us, but unfortunately we're going to have to replace you when we get home. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Until next time, we'll see you on the high seas. Bye.
Hey, click me to subscribe.